Welcome to project explanation part 2. Already in the part 1 I already given client and server concept. So the use of Angular, exactly what is the use of Angular. So in this part I'm going to show you what is a project and how Angular is communicating with DB. Okay, so please note down very important point, that is there is no connection between Angular to database connection. So you can't communicate with Angular to database. Okay, so this is a very important point. From Angular you can't communicate with DB in the sense MySQL. So Angular is a framework of JavaScript. It means Angular indirectly JavaScript. So JavaScript don't have ability or capability to communicate with DB. Okay, so for that purpose what we need to do, okay, first of all I will show you database. Yeah, no, this is the database login app and it contains around 3 tables. The first one is users tables, users details table. In this we are going to maintain the username and password in the form of images. These all are the image path, actually image path, and the full name of the user and phone number, date of created and date of updated. Okay, we are going to save this data when the user sign up. Okay, and if you go and see profile details, these are the profile details of the users. Already user is created, some user. The user ID is going to store here, user ID, and some other data of the user, and finally passcode image. We are going to maintain the sequences for each image here. So to get easily we are going to maintain this. Here we have around 16 images. If you want you can improve, that's the matter. Okay, these are the 3 tables maintaining for this particular project. So and the second portion, so we are using XAMPP software for this. XAMPP. In this HT docs, and in this the project name is this is your project. This is a coordinator framework which is developed on PHP. Already told you, using Angular you can't communicate with DB. So what we need to do, we are taking another technology, that is PHP. You are taking a framework of PHP. By using this framework you are going to communicate with DB. See, in this our logic is there in the core. Go to core folder. Yes, in this sorry, yeah, no, not to code. Go to API folder. In this folder, first of all I am showing you database connection. Okay, so in API folder there is a config folder. In that database.php folder, open database.php folder. You see, already shown you. This is a database login underscore app. Just mention that here, your database. Okay, and our host is localhost, and these are the details of database. For example, your database have a username, just mention that username here. If your database have a password, mention here. Okay, so if you provide this minimum data, your connection will occur, and then go to not this. So this is a minimum, and then we are going to write some controllers using code igniter. For example, for login purpose, these are the methods. To get all the users, we are going to use get users controller. To save the user for registration purpose, we are going to use save user method. So to get images by using email ID, we are going to maintain another controller, something like this. So for example, for get user, we are going to call a model. I will show you. We are in the controllers folder, so we have another folder called models. So go to that, and these are the models here. So what model we are using? Already told you, this is the controller and this is the model. So from the controller, you are going to call a model, in this model folder. In that, you are going to mention some model name. So that is your class name, and in that you are going to mention a method name. Users using these users, these are alias names class, and from here you are going to call method. That method name get users model, this one. From here you are going to catch db. From get you are going to get user details. So this is user details came from database, and you're taken here, and you're going to return that data to controller. From the controller you're going to return in the form of JSON. So I will show you how the data will comes like that, like this. So Angular can't communicate with DB, so your PHP file is going to communicate with DB, and it is going to return the data in the form of JSON. This is the API. So I'm showing you sample API, but you will get plenty of APIs here. Okay, so this is sample API. So you have to use this API in the Angular level. Then go to Angular code. So already you see that is database part as well as PHP part already you have seen. Now I'm going to show you that Angular part. This is a logic. We're going to write this level. Angular level, everything will written in the app. So already I will show you again. This main root file, I'm going to src. In src I'm going to app. So here we have some components, and this is a module, and these are also components. So anyway, first of all I will show you something. User.ts. This is a simple interface, in the sense we are going to use email, name, mobile and everything. So this is actually TypeScript, TS file, TypeScript. That's why we are going to write number string like this, because TypeScript is a superscript to JavaScript. In a sense, JavaScript don't have any data types or something. So that's why Microsoft people invented TypeScript. TypeScript have a strong type. So if I mention string here, if you assign number, it will not accept. So for validation purpose, we return user.ts. Anyway, so I'm going to show you app module.ts. This file contains all imports. So what the modules we are going to use here, what the components we are going to use here, everything mentioned here. Okay, so here the important segment is this HTTP module. Using HTTP module, we are going to get the data of this JSON data. This is the API. Using $HTTP module, we are going to get this data. We are going to get this data to Angular code. Okay. So go to login, and this is a component, login component. This login component definitely contain a HTML file and a TS file, and this another directive, and this is already shown you one class. So go to TS file. In TS in the sense TypeScript. In that, here we injected some service. Finally I will explain you what is meant by service, but just listen. This is the service, password.service. So come out from one folder and go to providers. In that we have a password.service. So //license, come back one folder to back and go to providers folder. In that we have a password.service file. Come back and go to providers. In that we have a file called password service.ts file. Go into this. This is a service. Anyway, inside we written a logic. Already you can see these all are the APIs. This is one API for login API, and this is for to get password. This is for save user. This is for get images by using email ID. These are the APIs we written here. Actually, these three are commented. We are going to use that API. Using this API, plus we are going to send some password. Okay, some string concatenation. So finally, we are going to get the data here. Okay, and this is a response we are sending to the login page. Up to now, we are going to use login. So this is login.ts file. Anyway, go to component. Here we have a constructor. In constructor, I am going to inject that password service and go into here. See, you are just creating alias name to password service. Okay. Oh God, give me a minute. See, from using this PS, we are going to call login. So go here and check for the login method. Yeah, this is a login method. This login method, and here we are going to write the logic. I will explain you, no worry. From login method, we are going to send some user details. So what the details you will enter in the text box earlier, the email ID, we are going to send that to this. So we are catching that user and we are sending that user to that API. Okay, so if you send, if the data came, so the result start equal to this data we are getting from the API. If it is true, then we are going to start a session for the user. Otherwise, it not. So authentication fails. Okay, so if it is success, we are going to store something data in the session and we are sending the user into home page. Okay, so this will came, and if all match, then this is a routing. Already shown you at app module.ts. Here route route module. So if that is success, we are sending the person into home page. So this is the logic we written. So again I will explain you the top model, top layer. So Angular can't communicate with DB. That's why we have chosen PHP to communicate with DB, and PHP will communicate with DB and it will send the data in the form of JSON. It returns the data. If you catch the API, that API will return the data in the form of JSON. That is the logic of PHP, and it is written. So we are catching that returned data in the service. In service, we are going to catch that return data in service, and from service, this is actually Angular service. From service to, we are getting the data to component, and here we are writing some logic, and we are sending this data to view level. Okay, already shown you every component is a combination of HTML and a TS. So HTML in the sense view, TS in the sense that is our controller logic. TS in the sense our controller logic, and coming to this provider and this TS file, this is the model, because we are getting data to here. Model view controller. Okay, MVC, model view controller. So here also in coordinator also. In coordinator also I will show you the coordinator. So this is the controller part and this is the model part. MC, here we contain only MC. Here we don't have view because I'm not going to show anything in the browser using coordinator. I'm sending the data using controller in the form of JSON. Okay. So if you have any doubt, just contact me.